Hey there, welcome to Players Only. That's right, a Players Only edition of Game Time. We had 6 games tonight. A couple of them were blowouts, we'll be honest with you. That's right, it's the two-man game. We can both switch. You could be center, I could be power forward. We can switch it up, but got my man Kevin McHale here. I'm Chris Webber, and let's get out to a game that was exciting, at least for the first few moments. As Mama call him Clay, I'ma call him Clay. Golden State, K-Mac. While these highlights go on, just let me tell you what they did tonight. In the first quarter, they set an NBA record. That's right, NBA record with what? 51 points in the first quarter. Oh. Then they set a franchise record, as you see Durant pull up a 3. And that's 10 threes in the first quarter. This is the 10th time this season they've scored 40 or more points in a quarter. Ooh. How about they shot 60% from the field? This is the 4th game of the season in which they've scored 140-plus points. This is the 10th game in which they've won by 20 or more. And Kev, just let me hit you with this. Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. You want to know what they shot from the three-point line?
I do.
18 for 26. How ridiculous is that?
That's hard to do in the gym by yourself with no one guarding you.
I mean, come on, man.
That's ridiculous. All I can tell you is they were ready to play Denver, who had a better record than they did coming into this game. And Denver right now is saying, ooh, that's what it looks like when Golden State's mad and really focused and wants to come after you. So this is a heck of a learning game for Denver, but Golden State was on fire, and they played so well. I mean, you look at it, they had 40, I think they had 40 assists as a team. Yeah. Just, great ball movement, great defense, and all locked in.
How about this? The Warriors come in a half game out of first place. Guess who's in first place now? That's right, your Golden State Warriors. And speaking of that, we caught up with Draymond Green after the game.
Draymond, you
got a chance to talk about Flint players earlier and guys from that area. And again, I believe, I don't even think I mentioned him on this. Flint players are the most per capita. And you said a little something tonight. Draymond got back to playing day-to-day type basketball. Those 13 assists from him tonight. But how about this? 38 assists on 57 shots came out.
Yeah, that's right. They had 38 assists out there. And Draymond had a Draymond night. He shot the ball 5 times. He's plus 41. Now, whether you believe,
man.
Okay, the plus minus, you can say plus 41. And when he's popping the ball and moving it, he did it tonight 4 or 5 times where he got it and drove it down
right
the gut.
Away.
Yeah, no hesitation. Yeah. He sucks the defense, got a lob. All of a sudden, the guy doesn't come over, throws it out to the corner. And that's where he's at his best. When he's hesitant offensively and pump faking and not doing stuff, when he's attacking the basket and making defenders come to him. Because here's the thing I'd tell Draymond. When you get it, just attack. If nobody comes, just dunk it.
Yeah.
If somebody comes, you got good enough vision. I'm not worried about you finding the guy.
That's right.
But make a play. Just attack the rim. So it was a typical game for him, and that was about as good as I've seen Golden State play on both sides of the ball all year long.
6 rebounds, 13 assists, 1 for 5 from the field. That's a Draymond-like game. And he said even earlier that he loves to facilitate, but a little here on the defense,
I love that.
Curry leads his defensive man right to Draymond, stays in the pocket, gets the steal, the quick, fast breaking. What do you see here on offense?
They're just going to keep moving the ball. They're going to get up there. They set a nice screen for him, but watch this. It's how fast they're moving now. Watch how he drops the ball. Immediately puts that dribble and puts pressure on the defense. That's where Draymond Green is almost unguardable when he's making really quick decisions. And you're going to see right here now, just a little bit of a pick here, just to give that big, hold up that big. And he comes off, nice screen set right here.
Rotates late. Wow.
Yes, exactly. And look at that. Now he makes a beautiful little bounce pass over here. And again, another dunk. So what you're seeing on the first clip, the defensive clip, is that you're going to get beat in our league. You can't put your hands on him. Steph gets beat, but he doesn't get out of the play. He runs back in the play, gets a steal, and Green picks up his man. Yeah. They were really helping each other on both sides of the ball. When they're playing like that, that's encouraging for me, because I'll tell you what, I've been down on this team all year long, really, at Golden State. They just haven't played up to their capabilities yet. But they start playing like they did tonight. It gets me excited, because I love seeing a different style of. It's the pass. It's not the dribble.
Yeah.
Clay, what did you say Clay was? You said 13 for 19.
Come on, man.
I bet he took 10 dribbles.
Yeah, I bet he may have taken less than that. Yeah, exactly.
And so I love watching that style of play.
Yeah, I love it too. And I think the reason why we get frustrated with the Warriors is because we know that they pay attention to detail. We know that they know what they're doing or not doing. And when they play great, it's just a work of art. They were out there balling. That's
About
right.
142 on him.
Yeah, OKC only gives up 107. The defense of OKC didn't show up tonight, giving up 142. Let's see what Coach Donovan had to say about his team's effort tonight.
Really, it seemed like they hurt you in kind of all the areas you were worried about, offensive glass, at the rim, and from behind the arc.
Yeah, I mean, no question they did, and I mentioned they were playing very well over the last, whatever it was, 10 to 14 games, and that's what they do. They shoot a lot of threes. They do a really good job offensive rebounding, and they try to generate some turnovers. So for us, we have been a great defensive team all year. This certainly wasn't one of our better performances. We're better than that. I'm not trying to take away anything from Atlanta. They played a great game, but I certainly think we could have done a better job all the way through, all the way around.
What was the problem with the pick and roll defense, particularly in the first and second quarter? It seemed like y'all got that a little fixed in that third quarter to where that guy was sliding over, whether it was Russell or Jeremy, getting a deflection there on the backside.
Yeah, I think that we probably, a couple things. One is we let the ball get downhill a little bit too long, kind of held our coverage there. And then when that big was kind of caught in no man's land, we probably got hurt back over the top. I thought in that third quarter we did a good job of generating some turnovers and some steals by pulling across. I didn't think we loaded up and helped enough. Inside the lane in that second quarter, in particular, where they went on that run, we needed to do a better job in some of their action. And I thought in the third we adjusted pretty well on it.
This isn't the first time we've seen that issue with the pick and roll defense. I mean, Phoenix, I think Utah, Dallas. What has there been an overreaching theme in what's breaking down, or is it breaking down at different spots in each game?
No, it's different. It's different. It's totally. First of all, it's totally different actions. You know what I mean? It's not like the same play, so it's totally different actions. But it's different things. Whether it's getting the ball stopped at the point of the screen, or whether it's our help pulling across and giving help where it needs to be. Whether it's the guys in the coverage with high hands. Is the floor overloaded? Is the overload behind the balls, in front of the ball? There's just a lot of variables there. And I thought, like I said, after the halftime when we adjusted, I thought we handled it better.
Stick with a pretty standard rotation, starting mostly second unit guys in that fourth quarter. Atlanta's kind of a team that they oscillate between some of those guys that are starting for them tonight or guys that are coming off the bench. But do you give any consideration to putting starters in that at the start of the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I thought about it to be honest. I did. I thought one is I thought Jeremy played the whole first quarter, as did Stephen and Paul. I thought that getting Russell off a little bit earlier in that third quarter could get him back a little bit earlier in the fourth. I just think there's a lot of minutes. I mean, Jeremy played 40 minutes tonight. Stephen was 38, 39. Those guys are playing a lot of minutes. I thought the group was playing well to end up the third quarter, and I didn't really want to break up their total, momentum and flow that they had going. I wanted to kind of, because we're in a good groove on defense and offense. But no question, I thought, the second unit, we could have done a better job there and start that fourth quarter. But at the same point, too, when we started getting everybody back in, it was a 6-point game. So I understand maybe the momentum changed a little bit there, but it wasn't like it was like an insurmountable lead. It was really, I thought tonight, everybody, it was collectively, coaches included, players, everybody, we just didn't do a good enough job.
You had Alex on the bench for a moment, I think, in the first half. I mean, what was it, what spurred him being on this trip, being able to be with the team this time around?
Yeah, I mean, again, I just, he's obviously always welcome around our team. We want him around our team. And he felt like it was important for him to be here, so he made the trip.
What was, when you say he felt like it was important, what was different from the other times to where he could be on this trip in particular?
The reason I say it's important, I know you've asked several times about, is he around the team, or maybe it was new other people, is he around the team? He wants to be around the team, so I think that there's nothing different. It's just that he wants to be around the team, so when he can do that, he's certainly been able to do that.
Is a game like this easy to brush off, or is it just one of 82? You guys really ticked about losing to a team like the Hawks?
Well, I think our guys are competitive guys. I think anytime we lose, it has nothing to do with the Hawks. Anytime we lose, I think these guys are upset or bothered or ticked off. And, I think think for us, we got to learn from it and got to get better from it and got to get ready for another game.
What needs to change for those components in the pick and roll to be more sound, more consistently? I mean, I guess in the last few weeks we've seen this pop up a little bit more and more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's been, to be honest with you, it's been different. Our defense has been so elite this year and so great this year. The last several games, it hasn't been at the level it needs to be. And I think for us to be able to play the level of defense that we have been playing for most of the year takes an incredible amount of effort and execution and intensity on those guys' part. And 82 games is a long year, and they've done a pretty good job sustaining it. Tonight was a game we didn't, but I still think that we've got obviously a great defensive group to be able to go out there and guard. So I don't really look at it as, a quote-unquote trend of what's going on. The trend has been, to be honest with you, probably the last 5 out of 6 games. I thought the San Antonio game at home we defended really, really well. I don't think Washington or Minnesota we defended like we needed to. There was a lot of points scored in the San Antonio game on the road. This was a lot of points scored. So we've had a bunch of games here that we've got to get back to playing to the level of defense, not just one guy or 2 guys, but our group, all guys that are out there playing.
Would you say it's more miscommunication, or how much do you think effort plays into that too?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Things are happening so quickly out there for those guys. I mean, I think, for me, I always feel like our guys give effort and our guys work hard, but there is a high level of execution that needs to be taking place with the way we're trying to play defense and the things that we're doing. And, why didn't we make 15 or 16 3-point shots against San Antonio and things happen quickly and we didn't get, some coverages down like we normally have? It's part of the game. It's part of being a human being. They're not going to be perfect all the time. We need to do a better job all the way around. I think what we've shown of what we're capable of doing defensively, we have got to try to strive for that standard every single game. That's the goal. And we didn't reach the goal tonight, and we didn't play to that standard that we wanted to tonight. But we got to be able to come back and learn from it and get better from it and figure out a way to improve upon what happened tonight.
You obviously don't.
They definitely need to figure a way to get back to that. Gave up 62% of their field goals tonight. You look on the other end, 36 assists on 56 field goal attempts for the Atlanta Hawks. They're definitely moving that ball around. And D. Fish, what are you seeing there looking at tape in your coach's room when we talk about this game between these two teams tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the defense is really what let the Thunder down tonight, and it's been an issue, as Coach Billy Donovan just talked about, in some of their recent games against the Spurs, really high-spirited games. So their defense is their anchor, though. They'll have nights like this, but they're still top defensive team in the league. That end of the floor will be fine. Where they've really had some issue is finding ways to create easy opportunities for Russell Westbrook and Paul George. So here, we'll take a look at an easy opportunity offensively that they create for Russell Westbrook. A little bit of a stack pick and roll action. You see Paul George screening for Steven Adams. And a lot of NBA teams now screening the big screen roll defender that takes that rotation away, allows Russell Westbrook to get downhill and get to the front of the rim. And so Russell's been doing a great job of stepping off the gas, allowing other guys to eat like Paul George and Dennis Schroeder, who's now on the Thunder. And so those opportunities to get downhill without much resistance, those are the ones that allow Westbrook to have that energy they're going to need him to have to make a push in the West.
I got Fish. They're one of the few teams they don't switch with Adams, so they just concept every pick and roll. So you talked about Billy's talking about, which means they come down. Let's say you're pushing a guy to his right hand. That means that weak side's got to be all the way in. They've got to take that roller immediately. And you're a half a step late. That roller gets the ball inside of the first big, and then that that first weak side defender, that second weak side defender is coming off the corner, and then everything opens up on the weak side. So when he's talking about his defense with concepts, because a lot of people just switch now, they don't have any more concepts, but everybody's got to be in the right place. And he was just talking about guys being a little bit out of position. What a difference it makes when you're out of position, when you're playing concept five-man defensive basketball.
Yeah, it's a hard defense to still play. A lot of teams don't do it. They switch a lot to keep bodies in front. The Thunder with Adams in the middle, they try to keep him home, body to body with a big, which puts a lot of pressure, like you said, Kevin, on the weak side defenders to be in first, so they only have one direction to go, and that's back out. Understandable, the Thunder would be a little bit out of gas after a high-spirited double overtime loss to San Antonio in San Antonio. then have to come back, play the Spurs again at home, and then the Wizards in a fast-paced game. So maybe tonight just an aberration with the Thunder not having the gas they normally do. But again, they play some of the best defense in the league. I don't think we have to concern ourselves much going forward with the Thunder on defense.
Yeah, thank you, Derek, so much. And I agree with Derek. I mean, this is not who OKC is.
Right.
You know that they play hard every night. And just so many crazy stats from this game. 31, both teams shot 75% from the line, except OKC got 41 attempts. And how about the Hawks? Only 16 attempts and still dominated. And I think you have to go back to that 62% shooting, 56 for 90, dominating inside of the paint, 68 to 50. Yeah, you see that right down. We call that an official beatdown, giving the team the business. You can go into many ways. Their 83 points was a season high in the first half. The 149 points was a season high. They just got numbers, blew them out by 20 on the boards. I mean, just some impressive numbers. K-Mac, you just said 40 assists. And tonight, we have Mr. Triple-Double himself. That's right, B. Simmons with us. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, tonight, 7 to 10, 8 defensive rebounds. You missed the triple-double by 1 assist. They should trade you. Your career is done. Why'd you miss that? But hey, you're such a joy to watch. And for our fans, especially young players at home, what is the most enjoyable part of playing in the NBA?
I think for me, getting an opportunity to get better every day. You know, there's so many games, you know, back-to-backs, and you're just on the road so much. It's like you have one bad game, and then, you know, the next night you have another game to, you know, kind of redeem yourself and try and get better. So I think just being able to play every day and do what I love every day, that's the best part for me.
You know, Ben, you guys started off and you dominated the paint. You had Joel Embiid going. You were driving in there. You guys just collapsed their entire defense and played inside out. And all those threes opened up. You guys shot the three ball very well tonight. But, you know, when you guys play like that, I just think you're so hard to beat. Every once in a while, and I watch you guys a lot. I know Brett Brown. Chris Babcock's a good friend of mine, your coaches. And so I get frustrated when you guys don't play that way. When you guys just play inside out like that, totally attacking the paint at first. How do you feel about that when you play like that? And you get the sense that you got to play like that more?
Definitely. I understand what you're saying completely. I think, you know, we kind of get a rhythm. We have guys who are used to running down the floor, and sometimes we slow it down. But at times we kind of need to slow it down and make sure we're taking care of the ball and trying to get into a rhythm. But, you know, I love the way we play. You know, guys can run the floor, get open shots, transition buckets, and I think we're getting a lot better at that.
Yeah, no, I do too. And like I say, I love when you guys play like this. The other question is, you know, you're the point guard, you get the ball in your hands a lot, you get a lot of assists. Has Joel Embiid just taken up more paint lately? It looks like when I watch him play, he's been going in and getting 2 feet in the paint and demanding the ball down low a lot more. I
tell him every time he runs down, he posts up, I'm going to throw it to him. I think sometimes he needs a reminder of, you know, how strong he is down there and how efficient he is. Sometimes he likes to shoot the 3-ball. But he's so efficient down there. We'd love to see him post up every time, you know, do what he does best.
You know, I'm going to say some names here, and I know people are either going to go in uproar or kill me, but your game, when I think about your game, I think Magic, I think Bron attacking the basket, I think Len Bias, I think Pippen. And what I mean by that is your size, your body type, the way you play. If you had to critique yourself and say next year and the year after I'm coming back better in these areas, being a point guard, you know, what would you say that your next jump is going to be, or something that you're working on just to continue the way that you're going on this upward trend of playing? What do you work on to improve over the summer?
I think just knocking down shots and being a consistent shooter in terms of just shooting the ball when I am open and taking more shots. And I think just getting comfortable in certain areas on the floor.
You know, tonight was one of those games where Jimmy's playing against his old team and all kinds of stuff happened when he left there. Yeah. Was there any talk in the locker room about, man, let's go get this one? Or did you guys, as a group, say anything to each other?
You know, we know we needed this game. And I think everybody was kind of locked in mentally. I saw Jimmy before the game. He was definitely locked in. But I think, you know, we always have the same mindset no matter who we play. We got to come out and get wins.
We're going to let you go, B. Simmons, but we usually see you warming up with your headphones on, man. Who were you listening to today?
It depends who's there. I like Gunna.
Okay.
He's nice. Oh, little baby. Yep.
All right. That's what's up, man. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Great game tonight. And we're a big fan of yours. Always enjoy watching you play. That's the man, Ben Simmons.
Tell Joel, more paint, more paint, more paint. Tell Mikhail.
I got you. I'm going to tell him right now. Hold on. I'm telling you.
That's right. That's the man, Ben Simmons. And he's going back to